guys, welcome back to my channel. So these are the nails. I'll be showing you how I'm gonna do them. So first and foremost, if you see my thumb and my middle finger on my left hand that I'm using to hold my client's hand, you will see that I literally hurt my thumb and my middle finger in the same week. I actually removed both. And on the other hand, I got a hot mess because I was reviewing the Valentino product, so I took them off just for that video. But anyway, yeah, if you see my thumb, you guys, close up, you can see that I basically bruised it. So yeah, please excuse my nails. They look jacked up. So sorry. But anyway, besides that, so I'm just putting the pink on this middle finger, and I put the milky white on the other nail that you guys saw in the beginning. So these are just gonna stay plain. There's nothing that's gonna go on top of them. So I'm just showing you the application part so you guys can see how I just applied a simple color. And so I don't forget to mention, as always, I'm using my number 10 Alpha brush. And for the paper towels, I'm using Viva paper towels. That's V-I-V-A, and you can basically get them anywhere. I always get mine at Walmart, and I'm pretty sure there's a Walmart everywhere. So just look for them at Walmart and you'll see them. They're very absorbent. I don't suggest any other ones besides these. And I've actually heard other nail techs use the blue paper towels that you will get like at an auto store. I don't know, like I think I've seen them, but anyway. Yeah, that's basically it. And for the pink, I'm using not Cover Rose. Is it Cover Rose? Yeah, it is Cover Rose by Mia Secret. And then the white, I actually just mixed up my milky white with some white powder and clear powder. And that's how I got my milky white, which is this one. It's basically just a off-white. It's translucent, kind of. You can build it up to make it more solid, but you don't have to. And to make it more milky, you should add just like a little bit of this type of white, and then add a clear coat of clear powder, whatever you have, speed clear or just any clear top. But I'm using my Koopa clear powder basically on top of this, but I'm not encapsulating it just here. I'm just actually just adding the color, and then I'll come back and add the clear acrylic to encapsulate it to give it strength, just so I don't build up too much of the white, because I still want it to look somewhat milky white. And here we are with this finger. I believe this is her other middle finger. And we are just going to add the Cover Rose by Mia Secret on this one too. And we're doing the same thing. And if you guys hear any noises in the background, I'm sorry, I'm in the living room and my son is in his room, but somehow I can still hear his TV and him yelling at the TV. Like, yeah, very annoying, but sorry. But anyway, I don't know if I mentioned that I'm using Koopa monomer. Sorry, yeah, I'm using Koopa monomer, and I'm actually mixing that with the Mia Secret. It's totally fine. It's not really that big of a deal, but I do hear that if you use the products from the same company, you get a better outcome. I'm not really sure about that. I feel like it's the same thing, but maybe, I don't know. I've never really experienced any difference with mixing brands. Sorry, but yeah, I am mixing brands and I think it's totally okay. All right, guys, so as far as the one right here that you see on the screen all the way to the right, I'm sorry I got out of frame, but basically I'm doing the white, the off-white color that I have, which is like the milky white, and I'm kind of making a little fade from the top to the bottom, from the cuticle area to the bottom. See, now you can see it better. So I adjusted my camera so you guys can see a lot better. And I'm gonna take these little flakes of gold, these little gold flakes that I get off AliExpress, and I'm just going to go ahead and fade them from the bottom up. And I'm basically just gonna do little specks here and there, but like I said, I'm fading them from the bottom up just so it looks like a nice fade. And on the bottom of that nail, it is see-through, so you will see that when it's finished. And I'm also gonna encapsulate this to close off the design so that it protects it. Okay, so both thumbs are actually going to be ombreed. That's what she asked for, and I just went ahead and added the milky white to this one as well, and it actually turned out really pretty. I think this is the first time I actually used the milky white to do an ombre, and I've always wanted to try to see what it would turn out like, and it actually looks really nice. It looks more natural. All right, so now I'm gonna take the Cover Rose by Mia Secret, put it right there 3/4 of the way down, and just fade it down. Well, actually it's 3/4 of the way at the top, and then you fade it down. And then this is my cuticle area ball, and then I'm gonna add a ball for strength. And basically, I don't know, I just don't go by a certain method. I go by a method where, okay, I think it needs more here, or I think it needs more there, and I think that's how I get the best results for my full sets. Okay guys, so my house is getting a little loud. I was in the living room trying to record this. Not very smart. Everybody's walking around making noise. But I went to my nail room, so this is where I am right now. So that way I can concentrate and explain to you things and stop stopping so much because people are around. Okay, so now I'm encapsulating it with clear. And this is going to build some strength and protect our fade from like looking like, you know, you work on your fade so much that I feel like if you don't protect it and you go back to filing, it's not going to look like you did it when you were being very precise about the fade. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and go to the other hand and do the ombre on the other thumb. So I just wanted to show you guys how it's looking so far. Each hand has different designs, so that way you guys know what exactly is going on. I kind of have to, you know, stop. I'm not doing like one hand to the other and finger by finger. I'm just basically going by what my client is asking for. So she's basically going one thing at a time, and you know, I'm going back and forth in between nails. And I don't really know if it takes more time because of this, but I don't really think it does. I feel like I work the same amount of time doing this. And mind you, I did do a soak off when she got here. So she was here at her appointment for a minute, but I think it's also because, you know, I think it does take a little longer, maybe like 15 minutes more, by, you know, going one finger at a time. Like, okay, what would you like here? What would you like there? She did give me a image and she did want it exactly like that, but because I was recording the video, I couldn't go back on my phone to look. So she kind of let me borrow her phone to check out what she wanted to get done. I mean, it's not a big deal. A lot of the time your clients don't mind you looking at their phone for the design if you want to go ahead and record the videos. So yeah, anyways, that's pretty much, I think, why I'm going back and forth to different hands. But if they did want something exactly like the picture, then it'd probably be different. I mean, this design was a little bit different because it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like, okay, let me do the ombre first, or let me do the gold foil at this point. Then, you know, it just gets a little mixed up, but at the end, the result is great. You just got to make sure you're doing exactly what the client wants and you're working as efficiently. Sometimes, you know, say you have, like when I was working with the white, I'm making a mess with that, so then I want to take out a new piece of paper and like not get my next color on that, or I got gold flakes on my brush, so now I want to clean it up and start doing this or that, or basically I do the easiest things first, or I do the hardest things first. It just depends. And I think this time I had went ahead and did the easiest things first. But anyway, so here I am doing the marble design. I'm basically dipping my brush into the white and then into the brown color. And then the white is basically just a Koopa white color. And then the brown is actually by Mia's Secret, and it's the color coffee from the Fruity collection. Actually, I was gonna go and check, but I just remembered. But yeah, it's the color coffee by Mia's Secret, and like I said, I'm just dipping it in the white and then dipping a little bit on the brown and spreading that color and trying to get like a marble effect, just playing around with it basically. That's really what you want to try to do first. With nails and nail art and things like that, you kind of have to play around with it to get to understand it more, not just look, because it looks a certain way when you mess with it. But you know, to be honest guys, I had a brush that wasn't flat like this one, and it was more like the skinny like, how do you explain those brushes? They have like they're very, how do you say, they're at a point. Those brushes that are at a point, those are easier to do this type of style. So it was a little more difficult for me to do it, but it was still achievable to use this brush to get the same effect. At the end, the end result was really nice, and I was actually really happy with it. Now this marble design, you are gonna encapsulate it because you want to protect the design. Just like I said with the ombre, you want to make sure that nothing happens when you go and file, that your design is still the way you made it, and it protects it. All right, so now we're gonna go to the other hand, which is her left, my right. We are doing the same thing here. We're doing the marble design, and again, we're just gonna mess with it, play around with it, and see how it turned out. If it doesn't look like it's turning out great, I try to like manipulate it as much as I can. That's basically what you're doing. You're trying to manipulate it to look like an actual marble, because obviously it's not marble. But yeah, you could do your best to manipulate it. A lot of these designs look harder than they are, and then once you break it down and you're like, oh, okay, that's not as hard as it seemed, you just start getting comfortable with trying nail designs. Like, I don't know, sometimes I remember when I started with the French, I thought, oh, this is gonna be hard, the French ombre, but then you really just practice, and then you're like, okay, you start figuring out how to go about whatever you're doing. So then you know, okay, how does the gold foil? Well, you just pick it up and you put it on there. The best way I do that is with, you know, I'll pick it up clear acrylic and then picking up the foil. And then with the marbling, it was like, okay, this looks like you're just manipulating it like little swirls. So that's what I did. I just manipulated it like little swirls, and it looked like some off-white was in there, some solid white. You know, you gotta dissect the picture. Look at it closely. When somebody asks you, oh, can you do this, and you look at it, even if you don't know how to do it, just tell them, I may not know how to do it. I can try it. If you don't like it, we could take it off and we could do something else on that finger. Or, you know, you could practice the night before and let them know that you'll see, or if they, you know, in advance schedule your appointment. It gives you some good amount of time to practice it. Don't be afraid when somebody asks you, oh, can you do this? If you're just be honest. If you really don't know how, you can tell them, no, I'm gonna see if I can do it, and I'll let you know before your appointment. Or you can say, let me work on it. Or no, I'm sorry, you can say like, yeah, I do know how to do it. If you know, you feel confident that it doesn't look that big of a deal. So more than likely that means you're getting a little more comfortable. Anyway, so here we're gonna do a 3D rose, and at the bottom it's just a bunch of petals. So I'm gonna start with the petals. At the bottom it was just one single petal, and then two petals, 2 rows of 2 petals. And then at the top it was like a big rose. Now this nail does always usually come out bulky, only because it is a 3D nail art design, and you have to encapsulate it so it looks more chunkier than the other nails. So when you're done, you need to try and, you know, flatten it as much as you can, but it comes out really nice. So yeah, so we're just adding these 2 petals, and then you'll see me add a couple more. Now, if you guys notice, I'm really adding just a bead of acrylic for the petals, and you kind of want to make a C at first. So you put your little ball of acrylic, you let it set for like 2 to 3 seconds, make sure that it's movable and not too liquidy. Start making a C, like right here, making like a little C, and then I'm starting to flatten it out, and that's the best way you can get a petal. And for my brush that I'm using, this is a crystal. Let's see, let me look at it while I'm in the nail room. It is by Crystal Nails, and it is the A3 brush. So A as in apple, 3, A3. So now for the middle, I am gonna add some beads, and I was able to fit in 3 little beads. And these are just, actually don't even know what I think they're called caviar beads. They come in silver and they come in gold. And I think I have copper, as you can see right there, you can see them. They come in different sizes as well. And I'm just gonna grab 3 of the gold ones, and I'm just gonna place them in the middle. I already had applied some clear acrylic to the middle so they would stick well. And then I'm also gonna add some gold foil around the flower and in between the petals. And here you see me start to encapsulate the nail. So I'm just using the Koopa Clear Acrylic, and it's just called Advanced Acrylic Powder. That's all it really says. It says Structure Advanced Acrylic Powder by Koopa Divinity. Also, you got to look at the side view, the profile of the nail, make sure that everything is getting filled in. Okay guys, so here I'm gonna show you some trial and error, and these things are gonna happen, especially with these annoying, oh, somebody just gave me a notification. Anyway, these things are gonna be really annoying to stick on, so I don't know, for me they just weren't sticking on, and it's probably because the acrylic is still drying and it's probably still kind of sticky. Even though they were hard, they probably still had like some sticky residue on top. So that was my assumption. But anyway, the problem is they just weren't sticking, and I just decided to remove them and add new tape to them. You can see them look, see, so it comes off, and I'm just like so frustrated. So I decided to try it again. And like, I don't know if I mentioned this, I am gonna encapsulate it. So I've always had a problem with these little sticky things not staying on when it came to encapsulating them. I mean, sorry, when it came to top coating them with just regular gel. So I decided, I actually saw in a video of this girl, what was her name? It was like a year ago I saw it. Her name, I think her YouTube channel is called Nail Queen, but she had encapsulated the tape, and I was like, that's smart, they'll never come off. So that's what I decided to do. So here you see me encapsulating it with, sorry, another notification. You see me encapsulating it with clear acrylic, and those puppies are not gonna come off because obviously clear acrylic is really hard, and it's definitely gonna keep it safe under there. You're basically encapsulating the tape, and you should not have any type of problems with that like I did when I would encapsulate it with just gel top coat. So yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys another method of taping these things easier, because this one gave me a little bit of a hard time. So here you can see me with the trial and error again. They weren't sticking very well at all. As you can see, it just rises right back up. So I decided to tape it down like this. And it still was, you know, giving me problems after that. So you're gonna see what I'm gonna do after me adding the second one, thinking no, it has to work there, because the other one kind of worked, so I didn't have to do this method. But for, you know, a better outcome and to work faster, just do what I'm gonna do next, because this didn't work. Look, just watch what happens. I'm over here trying to like, okay, stick it down, and here I am trying to make it stick more down. So here I am forcefully trying to add the clear acrylic, thinking, oh, they're not gonna come up, because now I'm putting the clear acrylic. Now I made it worse. So I just cleaned it off, took it off before the acrylic dried, removed the tape, and started buffing. Just buff that away, remove all that stuff. For whatever reason, it wasn't sticking, and then I buffed it off, made it more rough of a surface, and removed the residue with a alcohol wipe, or a wipe absorbed with alcohol. And then I just grabbed the whole dang glue, and I was like, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna stick it right on there like this with the tape. And it gave me more stability, to be honest, you guys. It was way easier. Look at that, and you get a more perfect line, and then you just cut around it. It's pretty cool. And then, you know, then I could easily go ahead and encapsulate it with the clear. So that was actually super helpful. I wanted to show you guys. I thought that was really cool. There is a close-up. You guys could see me encapsulating it. And I thought this nail was so pretty, so classic. I noticed my faded nail with the foil needed a little bit more structure at the free edge of the nail, so I added a little more, and then I went ahead and encapsulated my other marble nail while I was at it. And here you see me going and filing the sides and the free edge to get it back into shape, because of course after you apply the acrylic, they do get a little bit bulky again, even after you made a nice shape and all. So you're gonna go in and do the sides. And you see me making sure that the sides of this thick flower are a little bit more narrow. Just trying to move anything that's stuck onto the skin. That's why you basically pull the skin with your fingers back so you don't hurt them. And then you use the file, which is a 100 grit file that I'm using. And this one I just got from Sally's. And yeah, you're removing all that acrylic that is probably stuck to the skin or anything. Because if it's stuck to the skin, you most likely will get lifting. And that's what we're trying to avoid. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the bulkiest. Now first, I'm gonna go ahead and file the cuticle area, remove any acrylic that's probably stuck on there, which more than likely there is because this nail's a little bit bulkier. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna go ahead and start on the pinky again. As normal, but yeah, you do want to go ahead and do this. I went ahead and did the bulky one first because it was like the harder nail to do. I usually try to do the hard things first or the easy things first because it just makes it seem a lot faster for me for some reason. But yeah, see how I'm going around the, well, you can't see there, but you see how it's going on the edges of the nail and the sides to remove the bulkiness there first. And then when I'm going around the cuticle area again, just so you don't cause friction, which is, you know, burning their nail plate. Because even though they have an extension on their nail, they can feel it right through it. And it burns really bad. It causes a lot of heat and friction, and that creates the ring of fire that some people get after a nail service, which is not necessary and it doesn't have to happen. So try your best to avoid all that friction and avoid all that ring of fire. Do not create that. And just so you guys know, I am using a carbide bit, and it is a fine bit. And another thing, you guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and invest in a diamond cross-cut bit. It just looks so nice, and I heard they're really smooth, so I think I want to do that. I'm actually looking into who has a good one, and for a fair price, of course. So yeah, so now we're going to go do the rest of the nails, go around the cuticle area, and we're going to do the surface of the nail and the free edge on all of them. And I just went over that one again just to make sure it was more flatter than it was. And yeah, just gonna go finish off the rest of the nails. Alright guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and buff all the nails. And I'm just using this little cute little buffer that I give my clients after their service. And I give them their file too that they can have for free. Because if not, it's going in the garbage and they're basically paying for it because of the service. So they might as well take it with them. But yeah, I'm just going to do that with all the nails. And you can get these little buffers on eBay and you get them for $100, not $100, but you get 100 of them for about almost $8.
Perfect.
All right, and of course, I'm gonna take my 91% alcohol that I get from Walmart, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray it on this towel, which I already did, and I'm just going and cleaning the nails. I always do this before applying any top coat or any color gel polish or any polish at all. Anyway, so now we're just gonna go ahead and take our top coat that is from D&D, and I believe, let me look in my drawer. It's the DC one, and it says DC 900 top gel, and it's no cleanser. It says no cleanser needed, and it's true, and it's really nice. I think that's one of my favorite all-time ever gel polishes that I've ever bought, and it's only $5, you guys. So if you want to save that money, go ahead and get that. And if not, there's a couple of other top coats that I like that are very inexpensive. And I will include this one called American Nails, and I get that at my local nail supply store. I actually don't think they sell this online, but if not, let me look that up and I'll let you guys know maybe in my next video. But D&D, you can actually buy those online on eBay. I don't know, I've gotten them the cheapest in the actual nail supply store, which is kind of funny because a lot of the times their stuff is really expensive in there. Well, at least mine is. There's some things that are super cheap and some things that are like, what the heck. But the gel polishes, the D&D ones, are not one of them. Anyway, you see me putting the gel on top under the gold one because it's clear there, so that way it looks nice and you could actually see that fade. And as you can see with the stripes, they are under and they're not gonna pop off. So I actually want to do one of these types of designs on myself. And look at that ombre, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love this ombre, how it came out. But yeah guys, that's pretty much all that is. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other hand with the cuticle oil. So nice. They make the nails in your hand like revive in an instant, and it's just so nice. And actually I ran out of my Koopa cuticle oil, which that sucks, but I have a lot from Sally's. They give you a big bottle for like $3. They're not scented though, so you can just add some oil, some essential oils, and this one's a lemon scent and I love it, so it doesn't matter, I still love this one. But that is all, you guys. I really highly appreciate you guys watching, and I really hope you guys learned a thing or two watching this video. Thank you so much again for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more. There they are. They're so pretty. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.